The following question is about alloys, and the question states that brass is an alloy, and he's asking which statement about brass is correct. Now, first I would have to describe what brass is and what is an alloy. Alloys are a mixture of metals, and brass is basically a mixture of copper and zinc. So copper and zinc atoms are joined together. Both of them are metals. It's a mixture of these metals, and so it's going to have a metallic structure, but with one difference, that the sizes of the ions would be different. Copper ion is going to have a different size, and zinc ion is going to have a different size. I've drawn the description of what an alloy would look like. So it's going to be a lattice of positive ions, but it's going to be an irregular lattice because of the different size atom. For example, these big white ones are copper, and the small black ones are zinc ions. So they're going to have different sizes, and what that would do is it's going to make an irregular structure because they're not going to fit properly. So it's going to be a lattice of positive ions, but with lots of delocalized electrons, because metals like to lose electrons. So the structure would be similar to metals, except for the fact that it's going to be a very irregular structure, which is why alloys are often much stronger compared to pure metals, because it would be hard for these ions or layers of ions to slide over each other because of the irregular lattice. So all the properties are similar to metals, except for the fact that they are stronger and they have an irregular lattice, unlike metals. So I'm going to read the statements now. The first one, and he's asking which statement about brass is correct. Now the first one, it contains a sea of electrons, is correct because it is overall a metallic structure, and there is a sea of delocalized electrons because all the metals are losing electrons. They have a tendency to lose electrons, so they're going to form this sea of delocalized electrons. So this statement is correct. We can also go through all the other statements. It contains positive and negative ions. Remember, because it's a metallic, both of them are metal, there would be no negative ions. So there would be no negative ions, and which are free to move. No, this statement is also incorrect. The ions are stuck in their position. The electrons can freely move around, but it would be very, very hard for the ions to actually move past each other because metallic bonding is strong. The next one is that it is a compound of a metal and a non-metal. In brass, there are no non-metals involved. Plus, it's not a compound. Compound means or infers that they are chemically combined together, which is not correct because copper and zinc are physically mixed together. They're not undergoing a chemical reaction. And the next one is that it is a compound of two or more metals. This statement, two or more metals, is correct. But again, it is not a compound, it is a mixture. So all the other three statements are correct. Option A is all the other three statements are incorrect, and option A is the only correct statement out of these four.